So we're back for another session of Blood in the Six, but we have a rip. We have a rip.
Oh my gosh.
In punk lettering and everything.
Yeah.
Graffiti.
Spray paint.
Spray paint.
Kieran is assumed to be dead after last episode. Spoiler alert. Listen, our sponsor, as always, is CanadianDice.ca. Go over to CanadianDice.ca and use the code OMRD for Old Men Rolling Dice. And you can get a 15% discount on your entire order. So we went through a safety checklist before we started this vampire campaign, as it is supposed to be horror. I give a little spiel before every time that, you know, there's power inequities here. There is blood. There is gore. There is violence. There's people treating other people very poorly or saying things that are nasty. There is probably a lot of things that could trigger you. And if that is the case, you know, just take a break. Step away from stream. Go have a coffee. Maybe have a beer. Glass of wine. However, I would like to amend this warning that I give after every show, because this has not been a particularly horror-filled story.
Lots of dancing.
There's dancing, dance-offs, and
cats.
Yeah, and laughing, people losing their shit. So, you know, it could be horror-filled, but I'm not making any promises.
I mean, you invited me.
I know. It wouldn't be the same without you, so don't, you know. We'll be right back. Oh, we're going on ad break, so hopefully you're a sponsor. Let's do this. Only a few things that vampires are really afraid of, because, you know, sunlight and fire. Fire's a big one. Toni's a little shaken up as she quickly makes her way across town, having been called by her sire. So much, in fact, that, like, when you reach your sire's place, your head is sort of all over, sort of scattered, and you don't make it back to your own abode that night. Basically, your sire tells you that, you know, you're going to stay with him. We wake up to a new night. You find yourself uncomfortably wrapped up with Louis in a sectioned off room, not in his office, but this is his apartment. Everything's blacked out. He's made very sure that there's no light getting in to this unit that he owns, sort of. And it's not even in the Anarch-held areas of Toronto. You know, this would be probably considered Camarilla territory, but, you know, Louis's been here a long time, and he has no intention of moving. So, you wake, and what's your reaction, I suppose?
So as I awake,
he's sort of got a hand over maybe a shoulder, and he's just sort of, he's very clingy and wrapped on you.
Okay. So I'm actually going to awake startled. I imagine I'm probably not having good dreams after watching
The explosion?
who I was starting to become friends with
Yeah.
go through what I think he just went through. And I think the first words out of my mouth are going to be sweet and sour sauce.
Okay. And with that, why don't you make me a rouse check? Because, it's a new night.
Okay. This could be bad.
It could be bad. It could be good. Well, you don't get hungrier.
It's probably good because I'm already pretty hungry.
What is your hunger at right now?
I'm already at 3.
Yeah, so you wake up with sort of a hole in your gut. You haven't fed in a while. You're thinking about the fire. You were so the fire put you so off that you haven't even had time to let Gray or Jacque know about what's happened. You always rise before Louis. Louis takes a little bit to get up and get going. Maybe it's his age. You've been in this unit before, though.
So, in my startled state, and sweet and sour sauce. Oh.
He doesn't stir.
Unlike normal, I'm actually going to cling to him for a minute.
Even as maybe repulsive as you find him at times, like the blood bond still establishes in your mind at least that he is trustworthy, loyal, so yeah, you feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah. As much as I hate him, I felt even stronger pull to him after the explosion last night. I even changed into something that I knew he'd like that was in the trunk of my car before going up.
Toni carries around blue outfits, doesn't she?
She does. Because she knows that that's what he likes.
He slowly but surely starts to stir. His eyes open.
And she's just kind of got a panicked breathing still going on, and she's starting to feel her body and feel her lower stomach, and she looks kind of nauseous.
He sits up and gets out of bed. He wasn't embraced young. He's not a young looking man. He's in his middle ages. He doesn't have, and usually lots of times he's wearing masks. He has a thing for masks. But right now, he just looks sort of like something right out of the age of Leave It to Beaver. He's very put together. He gets up, he puts slippers on. He doesn't need those slippers, but he puts them on. Wraps a house coat around himself. Again, doesn't need it. Maybe out of habit. You're calm now?
Yes, thank you, Louis. She says that she's still kind of looking down and avoiding eye contact with him. She's kind of ashamed of how much she still feels need for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is, of course, the eternal hold he has on her.
I was calling you to see what progress you had made. But clearly, you must be poking the right piles.
Huh.
If
Definitely stirred something up.
Well, not to worry, my dear. He's simply a brouhaha.
And at that, she kind of snaps out of her like daze a little bit, and you never really did have any appreciation for common life, did you?
It's not that. It's just his sire Skinny was such a blunt instrument.
Blunt instrument.
Yes. Not like a scalpel, more like a sledgehammer. I mean, he can get the job done, but it's incredibly messy. I would expect Kieran was the same sort.
You would expect, but you wouldn't know. You don't know anything about anyone in this world except your own little...
Oh, okay, okay. Shall I give you some time, then?
I'm just so hungry.
I'll call for takeout.
I also just want to... my stomach just feels wrong.
You deal with that. I'm going to go and make a phone call. We'll see if we can't have some C student come and upgrade to a B, so to speak.
Ugh. She shivers down her spine. She hates the way that he just preys on people that need help.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't you just tutor them for real, Louis?
I mean, I do. I give them tips.
The tips of your fangs, maybe.
Oh. Yes. But
And at that,
but
she
regular
like
tips
grabs
as well.
grabs at her stomach, actually, and kind of like looks around. She's never really taken note of the mapping of the apartment and looks for the bathroom.
Yeah, there's an ensuite that would be very unused. Like, do you want to head in there?
Yeah.
He makes his way upstairs. You're in the basement of his unit.
She's gonna head in there pretty quickly and actually like make like she thinks she's gonna throw up, which she hasn't felt that in a long time, considering she ain't human anymore.
This is true. This is true. As you do that, you look in the mirror and you see Kieran behind you.
Oh God. I'm gonna reach out towards the mirror and is that really you? She's crying at this point.
Yeah, the picture shakes its head. The image shakes its head. It's all in your head.
What happened? Where are you?
Aren't you gonna call our friends?
Of course.
Chin up.
And she's... How am I gonna tell them?
Just tell them I'm dead.
Just like that.
Just like that. No fuss, no muss. That's the way it's always been.
You deserve better.
Probably.
Definitely.
There's a call from upstairs. Toni, you don't mind if they, English as second language? That doesn't bother you, does it?
God damn it! She closes her eyes for a second.
Okay. When she opens them, Kieran's not there anymore.
And she goes like she's gonna throw up. Does she, or
She
just...
she dry heaves.
Oh, that's almost worse.
The dog next door barks.
When you were first changed and tried to eat real food again, you retched before, but you haven't had that since. Not as a vampire, not as a kindred.
Guess I better go. And I'm gonna pull out my phone and start sending text messages to Jacque and Gray.
As you do that, could you give me a composure resolve check? So click on composure, and when it asks you for the second attribute, you can just put resolve in. I realize they're both attributes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done that before.
No modifiers
and
and just a difficulty of 2.
Well, Artemis had increased the difficulty.
Oh, did she do that? I missed that.
On the first roll.
Well, there you go. So we're looking for a difficulty of 3.
Okay. So no modifier.
No.
Difficulty 3. Thanks, Artemis. I'm kidding. I love you. I'm totally not crying, by the way.
As you start to, are you texting or calling one of your associates?
I'm gonna text them first, because I don't know how early it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Just be like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
To each of them. On my way to see what the turkey needs.
So as you do that, your Malkavian Bane begins to play havoc with you. You start to hear Kieran's voice. You can hear Louis' voice. You don't think he's calling you. You think it's all in your head. They're sort of talking back and forth. They're maybe placing blame on Toni. So for the rest of the scene, if we need to make a mental roll, we're going to do it with one dice less.
Okay.
You're feeling pretty fractured.
That makes sense.
So what are you texting? Who are you texting? You tell me.
Both Jacque and Gray. I'm gonna send the message. I need to talk to you to each of them.
Okay.
As I head upstairs.
Both of you get that text. Just to see what kind of situation the two of you are in, how about we both have you guys make your rouse checks for me? For the night. So Gray's not any hungrier.
Cool as a cucumber, as always.
Yes. in control.
Sorry, just looking
okay.
for the.
Yeah,
I will get there.
Right under hunger.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Did that work?
Yep, you're hungrier.
Okay.
So both of you get this text message that that Toni needs to speak with you. Jacque, you do have your father's service tonight. And you don't have a whole lot of time before it begins because you're working off of mortal schedules. So it's like as soon as you planned it as soon as you could early in the evening. Gray, you have a group of what would we call those people, Gray? I was going to say disciple, but supplicants. I like supplicants. Okay,
suckers.
You have a group of supplicants coming by this evening. What for one of your seminars? What's the seminar on this evening?
It's all about whatever's a nice way of saying using confidence to manipulate people.
Okay. I think that's
like I'm teaching people to be more confident so that they can get what they want.
Yes.
Be successful.
Be your best you to achieve your dreams and goals.
You want people to be assertive.
You guys should go into business.
Assertiveness, yes.
You're teaching assertiveness.
Stand up for yourself.
So you're already moving about the Church of Means, and a few of your herd members have already come in, and they're getting things ready. So how did the two of you respond? Let's have what does Jacque respond to the message?
Jacque just responds, sure thing. I got my dad's funeral tonight, but let me know what your schedule looks like.
And how about Gray?
I think Gray just says, like, just prepping for a meeting, but I'll be available immediately after.
Okay.
Should only be an hour or two.
So Toni walks up the steps into sort of a very well furnished, open concept. It's basically an apartment, but it's on the first floor. There's other units above. Things. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a number of masks on the wall, look sort of staring and watching your moves. And he's just putting down his phone. It is not like a cell phone. It is an old phone on the sort of kitchen counter. A counter that clearly goes unused. Like it's so clean, it's ridiculous. Nothing in the kitchen gets used. There are pots hanging. There's a butcher block with knives in it. There's a cutting board. These things are not used, though. They're merely to keep up the charade.
Appearances, yeah.
Not that he would likely have a lot of people here. Anyways, he puts down the phone and sees you. How is the abdomen?
Very strange. I nearly threw up.
What did you eat, dear?
Honestly, nothing.
You are looking a little peckish.
Hungrier than I care to admit. What was it that you were babbling about?
Oh, I found someone that's more than willing to come over and help us out. English is not their first language, though. An international student.
Why are you such a snob?
What? I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I just wanted to warn you. Give you a heads up.
Okay.
You really don't look well.
It was a very long night.
He motions to the living room area. He's like, sit.
Yes, dear. She sits down and settles in like she has a favorite chair.
Yeah. He sits across
She
from you.
likes to sit in a chair as opposed to a couch so he doesn't sit next to her, typically.
Okay. He goes and makes himself comfortable on the couch, crosses his legs, very, looks at you very gentlemanly-like. Well, how did things go with Justine?
Can't say I'm surprised to meet another person that doesn't seem to have a good past with you.
Did she say that?
She wasn't surprised to not see you, I'll say that much.
Oh. Well, yeah. She's also Bruja, so we need to be careful. Anger issues, yes.
Well, what do you have against Bruja?
Justine probably has some daddy issues as well, but... Oh, they're just always so angry.
Are you really someone to talk about daddy issues?
My. Feeling better.
I mean, we're both in the therapy world, dear.
Well, I never really
You may have taught me, but I probably far surpassed you years ago.
I will admit control issues, Toni, Antoinette, but not daddy issues? Come on.
Well, your daddy issues are different than what you're thinking. You just want to be one, don't you?
Oh, I am a daddy. Yes, I see what you're saying. Very good. Very good. So she wasn't... Oh, so disappointed in Justine. So what sort of errand does she have you running? Clearly one of danger if your friend... Poof.
Oof.
You said there was an explosion.
Poof.
I'm
An
glad...
explosion is a poof to you.
I'm glad you avoided it. Clearly, the smarter of the two.
How do you call walking into your own apartment something dumb?
Well, if you have a haven, you need to protect it. I mean... Wasn't he living with someone?
He was going home to his girlfriend,
Horrible.
as far as I can tell.
That's a breach waiting to happen.
You're a breach waiting to happen.
Oh, I am not. I conduct my affairs very clandestine.
You feed off of every student you can find that has a 2.0 grade point average. You call that clandestine?
I know, but then I stick my, finger in there and muck about. It's fine.
Speaking of breaches,
Yes.
did you hear about that blonde woman?
I'm afraid you'll have to be more specific.
Did you hear about that blonde woman that was killed recently?
This is mortal.
After the... No. Not at all. That blonde vampire that was killed recently after the Masquerade breach on the other side of the bridge.
Oh, yes. I did hear something about that. Dreadful.
Do you happen to know anything about that vampire?
This blonde woman.
Yeah. This blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. About the age of 25.
Sounds delightful.
Looked a hell of a lot like me.
Oh, now I'm very intrigued. Do you have a picture?
Pulls out a picture.
on the video.
Well, he comes over and looks at the picture. She does have a striking resemblance to you, my dear. Never seen her before.
I call bullshit.
You call bullshit on me. I hate that. So vulgar. You're calling me a liar.
You're the one who picked me. You hand-picked me out of a whole group of students.
I saw the way you were looking at me.
Like a young woman in need
Yes.
of someone to actually care for her.
Perhaps. Haven't
You
I
don't
cared
care
for you?
me.
Oh. Antoinette, we have this argument far too often. Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
Let's move past it, shall we? How do you young therapists say that? Let's put a pin in that. We'll come back. So Justine has you tracking down this woman? This dead woman?
There is no tracking her down, darling. She's very dead.
Yeah. So
The funny thing is,
who did the killing?
the Masquerade did the killing.
Well, the breach did, but who did the deed?
What is it to you if you don't know her and she means nothing to you?
I'm curious. Justine sends you on a mission. Perhaps
When
I can
have you
help
ever been curious about who killed another vampire?
Oh, dear.
Ho hum, Lily, what does it matter to you?
My dear sweet Antoinette, I will not call you dramatic. For you've already accused me of being the same. The apple does not fall far from the tree, I will admit that. But there seems to be an accusation here, so just go ahead and make it.
Well, Lily, I will say that I've been to her apartment, and lo and behold, it is full of blue dresses, and jewelry that looks just like mine, and a ring that looks just like the one you gave me.
Antoinette, I can't help it if people have good taste.
It is exactly the same as the one you gave me after you sired me.
What, the ring?
Mm-hmm.
How about that ring overseas? I'm sure it couldn't possibly be the same.
Exactly the same. Masks. She had masks and riding crops.
Oh my! I'm liking this girl more and more by the moment. What kind of masks?
It was in a feline nature.
Cat.
But more than that, I believe she may have also been in a therapy community. Had lots of research on dual personalities. May have also gone by a second name.
A second name? Well, maybe I know that. What's her second name?
Serena.
And what is the
Selena.
first? Delilah.
Delilah. Took me a second.
That's okay.
We all knew that. We all knew that.
I know. Well, neither of those names are familiar to me.
Of course you would say that.
What? If you believed that I lie every time I open my mouth, then what is the point in asking me the question, Antoinette?
Don't believe I actually asked you a question.
Well, you asked me if I knew her.
Did I?
You gave me her name. What sort of game are we playing here?
I didn't ask if you knew her name. You asked me her name and I gave it.
Is that what happened?
It is.
Yes, but you still think I lie every time I open my mouth.
I know you lie every time you open
That
your mouth.
is not true, my darling. I love you.
More lies.
No, absolutely not. And that hurts me to the core. What would you like me to do to prove my love to you? Name it and you'll have it.
Let me go.
Let you go? But Antoinette...
If you loved me, you'd let me go.
Oh, that whole thing. For how long?
As long as it takes to break our bond.
That could be months, dear. Maybe even a year. Wouldn't you
You
miss
said
me?
anything.
You would miss me.
Only as long as it took for the bond to break.
Is that what you tell yourself? That our connection is merely the bond?
If you're so sure that it's more, it wouldn't be hard for you to leave now, would it?
Antoinette, I am devastated. I'm shattered on the inside. All right, then. Off you go.
She grabs her things and starts to leave. She starts to feel nauseous again. By the way, I haven't felt this nauseous since the 2 months before you turned me. And she walks out the door.
As you do, you open the door and there is a young man standing in the hallway. Just about to knock. And he has a over-the-shoulder bag. He looks very well put together, but obviously a student.
Oh, she kind of jumps.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is Dr. Pitt here?
Oh, yes, of course. She reaches out her hand to shake his.
Ethan.
Ethan, very nice to meet you. I am Antoinette.
I can't do the
fellow...
accent, but you detect a Eastern European accent.
A fellow associate of Dr. Pitt's, former graduate, as a matter of fact. I heard he is tutoring you tonight.
As you shake his hand and you feel his warm skin, Artemis would like you to make a rouse check.
It wasn't you!
Oh, sorry. Queen Mother would like you to make a rouse check. I just saw Artemis's name and I assumed.
It wasn't me.
Wow! Oh my god!
Having failed that
no.
rouse check, I would like you to immediately make a frenzy check for hunger.
Oh no!
Oh.
So
So
resist frenzy?
on your character sheet, there should be a resist frenzy button, and I would like you to resist frenzy as he's absolutely delectable.
And that's
no.
difficulty 3?
Yes, and Queen also raised the difficulty, so you'll have to put the difficulty up on it. Wow!
Mess in the hall.
Wow! She needed 3 and she got 3. Your hand is like shaking. He's like, "Oh, your hand is so cold."
You have to excuse me. I'm feeling a little ill tonight.
And you remove yourself? Oh, okay. You wander out of the unit, and you can hear behind as Dr. Pitt is like, "Oh, Ethan, welcome. We have so much to talk about."
She pulls out her phone and sends Louis a text that says, "I fucking hate you."
I'll see if I can get the message for Queen Mother as well. We'll send that her way too.
I don't hate you, Queenie. I love you.
Let's jump to the funeral home. How does Jacque take the motorcycle, or does he take Dad's old car?
He takes the motorcycle.
Okay. You arrive in the small parking lot of the Rawlings funeral home is filling up very quickly. A number of your relatives have already arrived.
Yep.
What's your hunger sitting at?
John. 2, I think.
2?
After this morning's field route check. Yep.
Okay. So you're a little peckish, but you've got things under control. You walk up the steps, you shake a few hands.
Salut ma tante Jeanne, mon oncle. Ouais, non, je sais, c'est terrible la perte de mon père. I'm gonna miss my dad so much.
Everyone is expressing their condolences. But you also notice, like, with each person that you greet, there is some concern in their face. They're like, maybe a few aunts and uncles, or they're like, Jacque, you don't look well.
I'm good. I'm just so worried about everything with my dad. I haven't been sleeping very well lately.
A horrible stress on you.
It was so sad. It's been a rough time.
Well, take some solitude in knowing that he's with Mum, with Jacque again.
Yeah, Mom will be glad to have him with her. It just was so sudden. I didn't see it coming.
You make your way through the front doors of the funeral home, and the visitation room has been like all torn down, and there are now banks of seats and they've turned it into a little chapel. At the front of the chapel, there is an urn, the one that you selected the other night. There's some flowers around it. Family that couldn't make it down from Montreal and Quebec have sent, flowers, cards. And there's a few staff of the funeral home helping people get, find a seat or where the guest book is to sign and things like that. And Veronica is sort of just overseeing it all from the stairs. She's standing, not at the top of the steps, but like 3 or 4 steps up, just giving herself a little bit of a look over. She, again, dressed in funeral stripes, which is sort of a black with a gray pinstripe down it everywhere, jacket and skirt, and she nods to you as you come in. She doesn't approach you. She just acknowledges that you're there. At the front of the chapel, in a wheelchair, as she doesn't get around so well anymore, you can see your Aunt Matilda.
Okay.
I didn't pronounce that right, did I? It's Mathilde.
Mathilde. Yeah.
She's sitting at the front, and being probably the oldest member of your family, as cousins and friends and family come in, and aunts and uncles, they make sure to stop and pay respect to her as well when they go up to stand a few moments by the urn.
Yeah, I do too. I go up and put a hand on her back, and I'm like, Mathilde, ma tante, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much for making the effort to come out tonight to honor my papa. I know it's a lot for you.
She has very wispy white hair hanging about her face. You can tell that the nurses probably at the nursing home gave a little bit of extra time getting her ready to get here. She winces at your cold hands. She says, "Oh, Jacque, I didn't think it was that cold outside."
I just a little well, not under the weather, but just not myself lately, ma tante.
She reaches over and pats a seat beside her wheelchair for you to, like, she's wanting you to sit down.
I have a seat. Yeah. How are you doing?
Well,
it's such a shock with that passing, huh?
These things happen.
Yeah.
We take the best we can from them. So many great memories.
Yep.
He was so lonely without your mother.
I know, it was so hard on him when Maman passed. He hasn't been himself for many years, but we live even if those we love are dead. We have to continue.
I remember a great deal of change in his demeanor, and I know you were up north working, and I don't blame you for that, but he really was not himself since losing your mom those many years ago.
What did you find was different about him?
Less jovial. He seemed anxious all the time. Tired. You look quite tired yourself.
Yeah. It's the grief. If Jacque
would like, you can make a rouse check to give yourself what's called the blush of life, and then you'll look more yourself for the remainder of the scene.
Probably a good idea.
You won't be cold. Essentially, your body fakes life.
Okay, so I'll give that a go.
Okay. So you did fail. That only means you get more hungry. But, color comes back to your face. And your aunt looks pleased. She's like, "Oh, look at that. You've been inside for a bit. You're riding the motorcycle again, aren't you?"
Yeah, ma tante, I am. It's chilly out there a bit tonight, huh?
Mm-hmm. Early winter, they say they'll have.
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some years. We never know, huh? Climate change. It's a real thing.
Yes, they say the planet is heating up, but I think it's getting colder.
And in some places also cooling down. It's a weird way it works, huh?
With that, the father from the church comes in. Being from Quebec and, a long-standing family there, Roman Catholic. And father comes in and starts, talking to a few people and makes his way over to you. Now, fortunately, I don't think you have any folklore when it comes to people of faith.
I don't.
So Jacque is not bothered by this in the slightest. He comes over and shakes your hand. Jacque, so good to see you.
Good to see you too, Father.
Your father told me so much about you.
Yeah, I'm going to miss him so much.
We all will.
He was, yeah.
A very kind-hearted man, a very giving man.
Yeah, he was.
He'll certainly be missed by the church and the community.
Yeah, he was very involved with the church, I remember.
He says, is there anything that I can add last minute to the sermon for you, or?
No, just let people know how kind he was.
Would you like an opportunity to speak?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm a bit shy when it comes to the public speaking.
I wouldn't worry yourself with that. All family and friends here. I'm sure your dad would be very happy if you said a few words.
True. This is true. Okay, I will speak.
Okay.
Thank you, Father.
Of course. And then he sees your aunt, and strikes up a bit of a conversation with her, and clearly has been making some visits to the nursing home to be with her and things like that. With that, more and more people start coming in and sitting down, and it's not long before the chapel is filled. The priest gets up and gives a sermon and a little bit of a eulogy himself, having known your father. And they're just like any funeral, there's lots of there's not a lot of dry eyes in the house, and everybody's outpouring of affections is very genuine to Jacque.
Yep.
But Jacque does also notice that, like, even with all this support around him, it doesn't really land the same as you would have expected it to. When your mother passed away and you were still a living, breathing human being, something like this, you would that sort of emotion would land on you, and you would be able to feel that. And not so much.
Is it something he feels like he's missing, or is it like just something he's aware of?
There's
that he's regretting.
Yeah, no, there is a numbness that has come over you since you've become a vampire. Like, there's lots of food doesn't really have any taste when you put it in your mouth. Even like all those fake beers that you bought, maybe in the early times you might have even drank it a bit to like sort of remember what that tasted like, but it always tasted like ash and dirt and just unappealing. And you feel like there's maybe a little bit of that disjointedness happening here, that sort of disconnect.
Yep. Fair.
So then the father finishes speaking and motions for you to come up and say a few words.
Yep.
Can
I head up?
Yeah. Can you give me? I'm gonna ask for a roll here. Performance.
Okay.
And charisma.
Okay.
And chat has been kind this time and will decrease.
Thanks, chat.
This is from Artemis, I think. Yes. Decrease the difficulty by 1.
Okay, so that means full size modifier is still 0, right?
0. That's right.
And then difficulty is 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have what's called a bestial failure as you stand up at the pulpit. So tell me a little bit about what Jacque says when he gets up there.
Okay.
Oh no.
With a bestial failure, or I just tell you what I was going to say, and then you're gonna modify it.
No, you tell me. You tell me what Jacque says when he gets up there, and then I'll sort of modify it.
Okay. I just want to say thank you so much, everybody, for coming out tonight because it means so much to me. You know how important my dad was to me. He has been there for me since I was a little boy. Like, he took me all my hockey games. I know I wasn't always the easiest son, but
I'm going to stop you right there.
He was always there.
This is when your gangrel compulsion hits you. And your social skills take a massive hit. And you can only speak in one-word sentences.
I just let up.
Okay.
And run out.
Okay, so you struggle for a moment. And then you just dash out. Okay. You run out.
When in doubt, book it.
You run out into the hallway, and there's a stairwell going down to a lounge there. And I'm just going to say, Jacque immediately heads down there.
Yeah, safe to say that. Far away from everybody as possible.
Okay. So you do
he
that.
Probably picks up a vase and throws it on his way down the stairs.
Yes, absolutely. You do.
Someone else's urn. Ashes go everywhere.
Ashes to ashes, funk to funky.
So, listen, as you get downstairs, and you're dying of embarrassment of just what just happened. I'm also going to give you 1 point of willpower damage.
Oh, okay.
Which is just the slash, not the full box, because you're embarrassed at what just occurred.
Jacque's just like, no.
She looks at you and yeah, she comes in very close and puts her arms around you.
What?
You look like you needed a hug. I am a caregiver for those that have experienced loss. I think you're having a bit of an episode. Maybe I could hide you away somewhere. When was the last time you ate?
Yesterday, maybe.
All you get out is yesterday.
Yeah, I was just like, that was 2 words.
She takes you down a hallway and opens a door. And you're in a bit of almost like an airlock, it feels like. Like you're opening one door and there's another door ahead of you. So she brings you in here, she closes the door, and then she opens the next door. And then there is a embalming room. Really stark white and bright light. There is a woman on one table and a man on the other. They have a sheet up to their neck. And you can tell that she has embalmed one of them. The woman looks magnificent, like she's alive. She's just lying there sleeping. The man, not so much. Maybe his mouth is a little open and one eye is looking off into nowhere. And as she brings you into this room, you are greeted by a raccoon that looks dead for all intents and purposes. It has no eyes. Just these black holes. Comes over and looks up at you. It's okay. He won't hurt you.
Madame.
Why don't you stay in here with my 2 friends? Well, 3 if you count my little friend. And she gets down like someone greeting a little dog, and she's like, "You're such a good boy." And its tongue just kind of falls out the side. Stay here. I'll make sure everything's all right, and I'll just let everybody know you've stepped out for some air.
Okay.
Pull yourself together. It'll be fine. It's not the first time someone's broken down in the middle of a service. She goes back upstairs and leaves you there. However, this compulsion lasts the entire scene. So Jacque remains in the basement with his
Just hanging out
guilt,
with all
and
dead raccoon.
you can hear upstairs, like it's an old building, and you can hear upstairs the floors are a little creaky. People seem to be leaving. Let's jump to the Church of Means. So you have an audience of about 8 of your very best herd people. They're all sitting and listening to you talk.
And remember that you have to be bold in what you're asking for. Don't sweeten it up with, well, I think, well, maybe. No. You deserve the things that you want. So just take them. Just take them. Don't even ask. Just say, I deserve a raise. And get it.
There is a woman in the
It's as
front
easy as
row
that.
furiously scribbling down on her notepad everything you say. She looks like some sort of low-level, maybe accountant.
Yeah. Okay. I pull out all the platitudes like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take and all that.
I love it. That's a Wayne Gretzky clip.
Thanks, Wayne Gretzky.
That's a Wayne Gretzky quote,
Yeah.
which is perfect that we're in Toronto. Can you give me a what works here? Performance charisma
Sure.
or persuasion?
Is
Persuasion.
it
charisma?
public speaking?
Yeah, it's
'Cause I
very. It
get a
is public
bonus
speaking.
for that. So what does that do? It just
Gives you an
adds
extra
a-
dice. So when it asks you for any bonuses, you put 1 in there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Performance and then charisma, you said?
Yeah.
Full size modifier.
1.
No, 1. Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, we have a bestial failure in there, but we do have enough successes that the bestial failure does not occur. So 3 successes. Gray in the back of her mind knows she could have done better by the end.
Mm.
But she's still done very well. Like, people are standing up and applauding. And sort of people start to filter out. And
If anyone would like to stay for communion, just let me know.
yes, they're all willing to stay for communion.
Perfect. Getting a little peckish.
Are we feeding then?
Yeah.
Do we do this privately with each one or in public with all of them to see?
Probably like privately, like they line up outside my office and come in one by one
Okay.
because it's a very sacred
It's not,
thing.
and it's not like a confessional, though. It's like into your office.
No, it's like in my office.
Okay. And one by one. So
Yeah.
so listen, when you drain a human being, 1 or 2 points of hunger is safe. 3 points,
Yeah.
there is a chance that you could hurt them. So how hungry is Gray?
I only have 2.
Okay. So do we do like 1 from one person and 1 from the next person?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The accountant girl is first in line for communion. And she is, as you bite into her and drink, she is very sort of aggressive, and like her blood has a certain tinge to it that just, you can tell this is a go-getter. This is a person of action. This is someone who wants it. So for the rest of the session tonight, I'm going to give you an extra dice in any physical rolls you make. So strength, dexterity, or constitution.
Can I use the lingering kiss ability on her as well?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just to make sure she keeps coming back, especially if I think she might be good at what I do later
yes,
on.
she is part of your herd, so she will keep coming back. But you can still use lingering kiss on her if you'd like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just so everyone knows, the vampire can choose to use this power during each feeding where they sate at least one hunger, and the victim gains a bonus equal to half the user's presence rounded up to one social ability of their choice. So you're essentially buffing her as she leaves.
Yeah. Spread the word.
Oh. Anything for you, Gray.
Thank you.
Or would they have a title for you?
Oh.
Mistress.
The chosen one.
It would be something like as inoffensive enough that it doesn't seem like religious too much. It'd be more like administrator or something like that.
Okay. All right.
To feel like close to almost their because they're here because they want like success. And so I would want it to be something that they would be like, oh, this is a person I should look up to. This is a person who has status, who's in charge, who's authority.
So you usher through the 8 people or so that attended, and feed on however many you choose, so you can reduce your hunger.
Ooh.
You can reduce rate to 0, by the way. I made an error about that.
Ooh.
So
how do I? Oh,
you just
I probably
you should be able to just click them, or you might have to go and click the wheel and then take off the hunger. Anyways, as the last person from the seminar leaves, the door does not close, and a woman pushes her way in. An older looking woman, maybe 50, maybe 60.
Hello, can I help you?
Yes, you can. And in behind her, she drags her son Ronald.
Ronald! Oh, it's so great to see you again.
Nope.
This must be your mother.
You're not going to talk to him anymore.
Oh, okay.
I know what you are, lady.
What do you mean?
I know what you are. You think you've kept it a secret from all these people, but I know what you do in this building at night.
I simply want others to succeed.
It's a scheme!
We give talks. That's it.
It's a farce!
It's a seminar series.
No, madam. And I intend to contact the police about it.
Now, ma'am, and I'm just like gonna come over and like put my arm on her hand on her shoulder and just kind of like I think I need to use entrancement.
Okay. As you do this, you do notice that Ronald cannot withstand firepower of this magnitude. The browbeating he has taken all his life from his mother versus sort of the pinnacle of what he considers success, squaring down in the room has absolutely devastated him. And he is sort of meekly sitting in the corner watching the two of you. So you would like to use entrancement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I focus my allure on a single person, instilling them in a rapt fascination or infatuation akin to falling head over heels in love or meeting their lifelong idol.
Yes. And then you can add dice equal to your presence rating to any social pool against the entranced subject.
Yeah.
So let's, first of all, it does cost blood power, so let's make a rouse check.
Yeah. A little bit hungry, but I just ate.
So you should have 1 hunger, right?
Yeah.
So immediately you're like, I shouldn't have let them all leave yet. Now give me a charisma presence versus her composure wits.
Charisma, presence. Oh, yeah. How do I add presence?
Okay, when it asks you for the second pool, there should be an option to not choose a second stat. And then you're going to add your presence is 3, so you're going to add 3 to the modifier.
Oh, I see. Okay. Three.
Nice. Well, the difficulty was 3 for this. So you feel her... You feel like you've reached her. Oh, and actually, someone decreased. Let's see. Artemis decreased the next... Is that still the old one? Or is that a new one?
I think that's...
No, it's a new one, this one.
It's in the chat.
Okay, so her DC...
I don't know.
That would have been reduced to 2. So you totally nail it.
Okay.
So we're now adding 3 dice to any roll you make against her socially. So why don't you then, as you try to sort of calm her and explain what you do here, I'll let you either use persuasion or politics.
Persuasion.
With your manipulation.
Persuasion, manipulation.
+3.
+3. Oh, this is amazing. I love Gray. Is difficulty still 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, the difficulty would be 3, sorry. But that's okay.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
So we had a bestial failure in there, but that's irrelevant because we had 4 successes. So what do you say to calm her down? Sort of like, where do you lead her on this?
I'm just telling her, I'm like, I know that all that you want is the same thing that I want, which is for Ronald to be successful, to move up in his career. He's doing an excellent job. He's building his confidence. And I know for a fact he's going to be owning multiple franchises within the next 5 years.
Gray can immediately...
He just needs a little support.
Gray feels like she has hit the pressure point to make this work. And that is, this woman is tired of her son living in her house, her basement. And you, like, rather than dealing with that he was trying to take her wealth, you just step on the gas for, like, making him, a respectable, upstanding, self-sufficient human being.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, yes, I want that too. But
I know. You care very much about your son. I can tell.
But he can't be going into my Gray. Is that what do I call you?
Yes, that's my name. Administrator Gray.
Administrator Gray. I can't have him going into the safety deposit box, though. I mean, that's mine, right? No. There is a respect for property somewhere. There has to be a line.
Wonder if he was... I'll just kind of like pull her away from him so he can't hear. I wonder if he was just afraid to ask you for a little bit of help.
Well, why would he be afraid?
He shouldn't be taking money from you, but
She looks over at him. She's like, Ron, were you afraid to ask Mummy for help? Is that what's going on here? He's just like flabbergasted. He has no idea how this conversation has taken such a quick 180 degrees. Well, yeah, you're very strong-willed, Mother, and you do raise your voice. She even looks to Gray. She's like, I do that sometimes.
But you know what? We just need to instill some of that in you, Ronald, because you need to be speaking up for yourself. And you deserve a promotion. You should be a district manager at the very least.
The mother's just nodding. You need to listen to this woman, Ronald.
I love this character.
And he's like, I have been listening. But like, there's pamphlets and classes, and I mean, if I could just take some better classes, then I think I would understand, what to do next.
Oh, you're talking about our advanced levels. Is that what you mean?
The mother looks at
I
you.
didn't know you were interested in those, Ronald.
The mother looks at you. She's like, you have advanced classes?
Yes. They're smaller groups than the regular classes, and they're very intensive, very focused on pinpointing exactly what to do for these specific people and what can be done better in their lives specifically.
Give me another persuasion manipulation with your +3 dice pool for your entrancement.
Okay.
I've created a monster here.
Okay.
Yeah, again.
Similar.
It's the
roll.
exact same result. So
It's
great.
same result.
Well, do you have openings? I mean, I have my checkbook here. Would you accept a check?
Ooh. For you, perhaps, just because I know you're so invested.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you see potential in him.
Oh, I do. I absolutely do. I mean, he should be in charge of the entire region, frankly. He's got the gumption. He just needs the confidence to get it out there.
I'm going to ask for one last roll, this time subterfuge, because you are lying to this woman. Subterfuge manipulation with a +3 pool because of your entrancement.
Great.
Because Ronald has no hope. Like, this is... Would you like fries with that at Happy Burger for the rest of your life?
Ooh. Okay, that was a little closer. Gosh, with all these dice, I still only get 3? Come on.
You can, if you... I mean, you made the rule, but you could always spend a willpower to re-roll 3 of the top dice. She immediately sits down and writes you out a check so that Ronald can attend some of your advanced courses.
Well, this is very generous. Not only will it go to helping our community, but it will go to helping Ronald move up, frankly. Which is just exactly what he needs. He's on the verge. I think these will do a great service to him.
She, like, under her breath, she's like, he's been on the verge for a very long time.
I totally understand. But he'll become a stronger, more independent. I'm like picking up on her desires to get like
Sure.
a more independent young man capable of carrying out who knows what.
So with that, we're going to wrap that. And just before we go to break, I'm going to jump back to the funeral home. We're going to consider this a new scene. So it's been a little while. You've been hanging out with this undead zombie raccoon and the 2 corpses in the prep room when the door opens and Veronica comes back in. She seems to have let her hair down. There's maybe the top button on her blouse is maybe undone. She seems like she's a little more relaxed. They're all
Okay.
They're all gone. I told them that that you were just too embarrassed to face them again.
So I can speak in more than like one word now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Veronica, I guess. Also, what is with the weird raccoon? I think I don't understand what's going on in this room right now.
She's like, well, you have your talents and I have mine.
Yeah, my talents, they mostly revolve around motorbikes and trees, but like this is a dead raccoon right here.
She reaches over and grabs your bicep. She's like, yes, clearly, very strong. Very strong.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can sort of put things back.
But like back how exactly? Like is the raccoon in the raccoon now? Or is this like somebody else in the raccoon? I do not know what is going on here right
she
now.
She smiles at you. She's like, does that matter?
You know what? No, I guess it fucking doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay.
You're looking more relaxed, I notice, madame.
Well, you know, everyone's left now. It's just you and I here. And, of course, Mrs. Jones and
our friends.
Mr. McCready.
And the dead raccoon. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't walk.
Absolutely.
Run.
She motions for it. She's like, why don't we go and sit in the lounge? I wanted to talk to you about something.
Okay, well, let's walk and talk because, like, I gotta go, I think.
Why?
It's been a pretty long day. My dad's funeral that I obviously bombed. So, like, now all the relatives think I'm crazy.
It's been a hard day. You're right.
Gotta go.
You're right. Really? You're going to leave?
Oh, I think so. In this kind of party, it is not my kind of party here right now.
No, I
Thank
understand. It's
you.
not. It's not really my kind of party either. Just so you know.
I feel like this is a party you are planning. Okay, so tell me what you got to say as we walk, please.
There's a man with you.
Really? All I see are those two dead people and this dead raccoon.
No.
What man?
I can. There's a man standing with you. I think it's your dad.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, he's in the other room, but like in a jar now.
No, his spirit is with you.
He is in the building, but like not corporeally. What?
She looks past you, like she's looking at someone else. No, it's your dad. He's with you.
Okay.
He's got very fetching eyes. Like yours.
Yeah, there was some family resemblance between my dad and me. You're not wrong. But also you have already probably seen him on a slab and
he was
I
on a
remember
slab. He had
skin
beautiful skin. Beautiful skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Very supple.
I think I gotta go. Bye.
She grabs your arm as you try to leave. He wants me to tell you something.
Unhand me now.
She like runs her hand across your chest. She's like, "Oh, of course."
That was not what I meant. For fuck's sakes. Oh my god.
Jacque, I'm not able to hear, but he's flashing numbers, I think.
Did you hear him better with your hand on my chest?
I could, yes.
I see. Well, let's
I'm
not
kidding.
do that. Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You feel like
that's a joke. I know I'm not good at humor. Really, I'm not good with people. I'm more good with the dead.
Yeah, that is the impression I'm getting. Okay, so what do you want to tell me, Veronica? Because each time I come here, it gets fucking weirder. So let's have it out, huh?
Thanks, Raiders. Welcome. We're just playing some vampire, and we're in sort of an awkward scene. But welcome. Enjoy. She's like, do I make you uncomfortable?
Oh, you know, just a little bit, but mostly it was the dead raccoon that made me uncomfortable.
He's not dead, Jacque. Not anymore.
He's not alive. Let's be clear right now.
He is no more dead than you and I.
Did you see how his tongue was hanging out of his mouth? I don't do that.
And he doesn't have eyes. I know that. I've been trying to get a better specimen, but they're very agile.
All right.
Okay, I
well,
can see I'm saying all the wrong words to you. I'm saying all the wrong words to you.
I
Just-
need to leave. Now.
Your father is trying to tell me, I think, to tell you the numbers 4115. Do those mean anything to you?
Do they mean anything to me?
Why don't
Given
you
my
why don't you give me why don't you give me
A full Gangrel check? Yeah, let's go.
why doesn't Jacque give me a finance? Because numbers are fine. You know, this is maybe a finance thing.
Good. Okay.
A finance intelligence check.
Okay. Hold on here.
And chat has decreased this difficulty for you, Jacque, by 1.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, because I needed that kind of help. Where do I find finance in here? I'm not.
It'll be on the far right column of your skills.
I got it. Oh. That's my best column. Okay, finance with what is there a second attribute?
The second attribute would be intelligence.
Sweet. This is going to go very well, even with the. Okay.
I love that Jacque gets all the sort of mental challenges in this game.
All
Jacque is like this beefy
Unfair.
lumberjack gangrel vampire, and we have done nothing but throw mental and social at him.
only that.
Did you
What
send
that
it?
dance off? That went well. No. So it's difficulty 3, right? Or is it difficulty 1? I don't know.
Well, it was
direction.
difficulty 1. It's difficulty 1. Now your next roll will be increased by 1, but host migration gave you a yeah. Anyway.
Thanks, you guys. Okay, so did I get that? I don't know.
You did.
Oh, thanks a lot,
You know
chat.
what? There's been some paperwork. There's been some paperwork you've been looking at recently, from the cemetery, not the funeral home, but the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Your father is the cremated remains are to be put into section 4, lot 116 at the cemetery. Your mother is buried in section 4115.
Well, okay, that is strange.
So as Jacques' mind, like Veronica can see that there is a lot of work going on in that head of yours.
Arms are turning super
And she
slow.
Twitching.
she like points at you and she's like, you know what the numbers are.
Oh, come on! For fuck's sakes! Jacque starts to storm out.
You know what they are. What does it mean? She walks right out onto the front steps of the funeral home with you as you're tromping towards your bike.
I thought you knew.
He told me 4115, Jacques. What does that mean? You know. What? I can see you know.
Surprisingly, yes. But I don't think it's your business.
I can help you maybe.
Yep. No, my dad, he's already in ashes, so I think that your skill set isn't going to work here.
So you're on the bike now, and she's like in her heels, clicking across the parking lot after you. She moves pretty good, and she gets up beside you, and she's like, "Listen to me. If you want, I could sort of open a channel that you could speak to him. I mean, not right now. There's a rich
right here in the parking.
Oh no, Jacques, no.
Off. Really?
Is this your motorcycle?
Yeah, this is my bike.
I love it.
Thanks.
Do you know how many people die on these things?
I've heard some numbers, but I don't really remember the numbers, so no.
And then
I don't.
They come in all gritty and torn. And she bites her bites her bottom lip as she says that.
Okay.
She's got people in different categories, like slimes, where some of them are like soft and squishy, and some of them are crunchy with a bunch of glitter.
Are you going to
in
drive
them.
away, Jacque?
Huh?
Are you going to drive away?
I'm getting really ready to go. Yeah, like
She's like, just remember, if you need to talk to him, I can open a channel, so like a.
And how do I pay you for that, madame?
Oh, we don't take payment like that around here, Jacque.
You take what? It's like dead raccoons? Is this
Could you? She smiles. She's like, yes, you're a gangrel. Could you get me one? Fresh. It's got to be fresh.
Oh, the forest creatures, they come when I call.
Are you?
That's what I do.
Are you able? She like puts her hands back on you, and she's almost like in your lap. She's almost in your lap on the bike. She's like, can you shape change?
I gotta go. Bye, lady. You have a good night.
I thought the gangrel can shape change, and she's keeping her voice down. She doesn't want anyone to hear.
Jacque's like out of there. He's gone.
Do you push her?
Yeah.
Okay, you go full Karen, and just like push this woman off your lap.
Yeah.
She doesn't fall. She has pretty good balance even on those heels. And you roar out of the parking lot. Are you terrified, or what are you feeling as you drive away from the funeral home?
Pretty fucking cranky again, leaving the funeral home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Let's wrap that scene there. We'll fade to black, and we'll take our break. And when we come back, our coterie will be all together to talk about what they've learned and maybe what they're going to do next. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. Bye, everybody. We'll be right back. Raiders, thank you so much. Please stick around. Throw a follow if you'd like. I'd love to get to know you, and we'll be right back.
Oh, it is that time of year.
We're just talking about pumpkin spice. We're back.
Happy fall, everybody.
So we're shifting from all these individual things to we're now together at the Church of Means. We're all arriving in sort of different mental states, different levels of hunger. Everyone's gathered in Gray's office.
Yeah.
I will say this. I will say that all of you have heard on the news this night at some point that there has been some sort of fire in your community. Okay. Gray, could you give me a rouse check? Thanks to host migration.
Thanks a lot, pal. Dang it.
Man, you just fed.
I did.
And you can feel that hunger building again. So the three of you come together, and Toni was going to tell you something. The church is quiet. It's obvious that it was very busy here tonight, but chairs have been, maybe stacked and things have been cleaned up, and now you're sitting in Gray's office.
What did you need anyway?
Are you okay, Toni? You don't look so good.
I haven't been feeling so great. She looks really agitated, and she's pretty paranoid looking, kind of like checking all the doors like 2 or 3 times. I'm assuming that you've heard about the fire at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That was Kieran's place.
What?
Oh. Hey,
What happened?
who?
I mean, I clearly he's not here. When I dropped him off last night, I was having trouble turning over my car, and just as it
I put a hand on your arm to try to steady you.
just as it started, his apartment blew up.
Oh, Sharif. I'm so sorry. Fuck, Kieran. Are you sure that he was in?
And we were joking about the fact that he, forgot the sweet and sour sauce for the Chinese food, and
Of course he did.
the next, I mean, it couldn't have taken him too long to get up there, and I didn't stay. I was afraid,
Of course.
I just ran, but no one's heard from him.
Did you try calling him after? Or were you too shaken up? I get it. It's so crazy.
I guess you could.
Here, I'm gonna. It's okay. You just take a deep. I'm gonna call him now, and we'll see if he answers.
I don't think you're gonna get him.
I try to call him.
Okay.
Yeah.
The phone rings and goes to a voicemail.
Okay. Hey, Kieran, if you get this, please call me back ASAP. We're kind of worried. We just heard that your place might have blown up. We hope you weren't in it. Okay, bye. Did anything weird happen before that happened? Anything you remember?
Car?
My car wouldn't start, which is very strange for a Camry. I mean,
It's so reliable.
reliable, right? Never done that, but nothing strange. It was so like typical Kieran, I had to pay for the Chinese food, and
You had to drive him back to the
I had
house.
to drive him home, and but
Sure.
the weirdest thing was this morning. I wasn't feeling well, and I was very nauseous, which I haven't felt in a really long time. And I saw him.
You saw him. Like, how did you see him?
Well, this is hard to talk about, but as you may know, some vampires like me have premonitions.
Okay. Yeah.
Um
I think you're not alone in that.
when I was in the bathroom trying to figure out the stuff, he was behind me in the mirror, and he told me he was dead.
He told you he was dead.
He told me not to worry about it.
Oh, sweetie. I'm so sorry. That sounds so rough.
But
Hmm.
I'm so scared for us because we got involved in this and now they probably know. I mean, we don't.
How could they? We've been incredibly careful. The last message I sent was about grocery shopping.
I mean, I know he was involved in a lot of shit.
I think most of us are involved in a lot of shit, so like.
But was it a him thing or was it an us thing? Because that's an important distinction.
The
that we
timing
need to
is
make.
just too. I don't know. But I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Fuck.
Well, now what?
You guys notice that as Tony's like obviously emotional, she has no tear ducts, so this is blood coming down the corners of her eyes, across her cheek.
Jacque tries to like wipe it away so that it's not visible. Goes and gets a Kleenex. It's wet.
Okay.
Like you mom with the.
I pull out. I probably have some like
Wet wipes.
wet wipes or something for people who get like really emotional at the church.
Right beside,
that, like, are,
in the drawer, right beside Ronald's mom's big check.
yeah. Well, here, clean yourself up.
Okay.
What can we do to help you right now? You clearly are upset. I am not a therapist like you, but
Oh,
we're here for you because we're all in this together now, huh?
so the Disney song says.
I thought it said let it go. It's not.
Well, of course, I hate to admit it as a therapist, but I went running to the one person I didn't want to run to and had a fight.
Yeah.
So I think that we just need to keep moving forward with figuring out what happened to Delilah.
I think we have that one lead that we have to follow up on. No?
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't someone talk to them? To what's his face?
Gavin, I think.
Yeah, wasn't
Yeah.
where you were going? Or where you were?
We didn't
Is it
We didn't go there?
we didn't go there yet, no.
Gavin is like at the auto place? We went to the dance off.
That was Jake.
Are you a half moose right now?
Jake at the Cave nightclub.
Coming live to you from Canada.
Hello, I'm Bullwinkle the Moose.
Was it just something you
Again,
said at the
vampires,
end about
watch out, everyone.
because your car wouldn't start? Was it just something you said that at the end that you were going to get your Camry checked out by Gavin or something?
Yeah, we talked about
maybe,
that, yeah.
yeah.
Off
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Might be time to do that.
So it is
know,
fairly late in the evening, so
brain.
you wouldn't expect that the auto shop would be open, but but Jake did tell Jacque and Kieran that there was a sort of illegal chop shop happening on the premises. So you're like, even though they won't be necessarily open, there could still be people there.
I think it might be like an all hours joint from what Jake had told us. Even though you probably can't get your car fixed right now, but like we should go check it out anyways.
Well, maybe they could look for
feel like
something
it.
else. Because it sounds like if your car was connected to the boom, maybe
I
there's
hope my car
something.
wasn't connected to the boom.
Well, maybe there's something on the vehicle that was like a button or
You think that I killed him?
not on purpose.
She's gonna run to the bathroom and try to retch again.
Okay. You guys hear her run into a bathroom and
What the fuck, Gray?
What? It's the logical leap here.
What was that? She just
Her
wants to
very
know.
reliable Toyota won't start just as the building blows up.
It doesn't
Come
mean
on.
you got to remind her she might have done it, huh?
But I mean,
Really?
this is the thing. Perhaps if we can get
Aren't you
Gavin,
supposed to be reassuring people here? Like what? What?
I
do you
reassure
do?
people who need reassuring. She's fine.
Oh, is she though?
Of
When
course
was
she
the last
is.
time you puked? Just a question like that.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Perhaps she just
Like
needs a
how
snack.
little Easter, huh?
We'll just
Yeah,
get her a
but-
snack. It's
You get her a snack. Do I look like I have a frigo with me? I do not have the fridge with me or the people. No.
there are people in this neighborhood that are out and about.
I see you don't want to share. I get it. Okay.
They all left already. I'd be happy to share.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You could always
Here's the thing, though.
Gray, you could always call them back.
That's true.
What
I mean, we have options. I could. There's one young lady that's particularly ambitious. I think she'd be excellent. But
Because she's clearly hungry and let me make this clear, upset. Yeah.
sure.
So,
But
like,
what I'm saying is, if there is a device in the car that sets something off,
let's be clear, you were not subtle with that. I
if
got
there's
that.
something rigged
I got
up,
that, but-
perhaps this Gavin person can find it and we can
Yeah.
figure out who it came from. Because I would like to be very clear on whether or not that came from the Inquisition or if
Yeah.
it came from someone shady from Kieran's life that's less important
But like
to the
also,
rest of us.
Ixnay on the ombe because she's upset. Huh?
I mean,
Let's
it's a
just
big topic of
enough,
discussion. I think
And
we're
you
going to
just
need
let her drive her
we're going
car.
to need to talk about it. We can't just pretend the
You can
big
talk
boom
with
didn't
me,
happen.
I can listen to you, but don't bring it up around our friend there.
Tony.
I thought she was supposed to be all
No.
trained in the brain stuff.
Tony, you dry heave into the toilet again. Nothing happens. But, like, as you come up out of the toilet, you see blood beginning to run down from the top of the mirror.
Oh my god. I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to take people's eardrums out, but I'm gonna scream bloody murder.
Okay. So you
Okay, that's concerning.
So you guys hear
He's not okay.
Blood curdling
you hear a
scream.
blood curdling scream from the bathroom.
I'll go in there.
Yeah, I think but like
I'll assume it's a one-person bathroom. Like,
Huh?
so the door is shut.
I'm pounding on the door. What's the
I
matter?
didn't-
What happened?
I didn't bother to lock it, so.
I'll open it.
Okay, you go in.
Are you decent?
Yeah, yeah.
Frisco,
what-
sir.
I just-
where is
okay,
where
so-
is Tony when Gray comes in?
She's like pressed up against the wall across from the mirror, like she's slid down the wall and she's like kind of in the fetal position, like rocking.
So,
like
and as you're looking up to the mirror, like the blood's running down it, and not a little bit, a lot. And then as Gray comes in, two very tiny little hands push like they're inside the mirror against the blood. Very tiny hands.
oh my gosh.
Do I see anything?
You see her fetal
Sure.
and clearly
But there's
upset.
nothing actual.
No. However, the sight of blood and Gray entering the room, I would like Tony to make a frenzy check.
That was really great. Got taken out in their place of
A
business.
resist frenzy.
Difficulty?
Only 2. because you can only smell the blood.
Hey.
So just for a moment, you think about either getting up and licking that blood off the mirror, or maybe even feeding on Gray. And then you get that under control.
Okay, so I see Gray enter the room,
Yeah.
and I'm rocking,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at the mirror, and I look up at her, and there's just absolute, almost like possession in my eyes, and my teeth are just like.
Mm. Okay, maybe she's
And-
not okay. Maybe you were right.
Yeah, I think I am. You should probably get that snack for her, I think.
Jacque,
Like that.
do you come and look?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her fangs are out. She's shaking.
And I'm gonna shake my head, and it kind of backs down a little bit, and the little hands, little hands. The blood is everywhere. Baby,
It's okay.
it's a baby.
No,
What is it?
breathe.
Is there a baby? It can't be. It can't. No, it can't. It can't be a baby. It can't happen. It can't happen. It can't happen. No.
No, you're okay. You're okay, sweetie.
Hey,
Got you.
why
Great.
don't you come with me? We'll go get a snack. Okay? Just a little snack.
Okay.
Okay. Come on. I'm gonna see if I can find. This is messed up, but I'm gonna see if I can find.
Ronald.
Poor Marty.
No.
He's so
Isaac?
concerned about me right now. I'm so sorry.
I know. He's like, I can tell.
Mom, are you okay? Come here, buddy. Okay.
So who is Gray gonna call him?
Well, I mean, the easiest person to find might be Isaac if he's around, which is kind of messed up, but maybe I'll
Isaac?
bring him a coffee.
The police officer?
No.
Is Isaac one of the herd?
No.
He's your touchstone. I don't think you would ever put him in harm's way.
No, okay. So maybe not.
I will say that I will say that you think about him though for a moment, and like,
Well, because he would be like
yeah,
right there.
he's probably not far. He's probably not far, and then you're like, I can't do that.
What's the name of the ambitious lady that was like scribbling notes? I might call her.
Leanne.
Or maybe Ronald. Because I fed on her earlier already. Maybe I'll call Ronald.
Okay. So
Yeah.
one of your herd members, Ronald.
Not Ronald.
Ronald, I have a bit of an emergency. If you could come back to the church really quickly, I need some help. Community member has stopped in and they're in a bit of a crisis.
Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah, I'll be right there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ronald.
So a
Okay,
very long
so-
half hour passes.
like cold cloth on the
Mhm.
forehead.
She's like shaking and like grabbing her lower stomach, and like she totally gone.
Mm-hmm. Are you still in the bathroom?
Mm-hmm. Depends. Did they try to move me?
Yeah, I think
Probably
so.
try to stand you up at least, get you into a chair.
On a couch, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so you remove her from the bathroom when you're away from that vision. Toni feels like she has a little bit more grip. A half hour passes.
Okay.
Ronald arrives, and he's like, I came as soon as I could. You notice that he has his Happy Burger uniform on.
Oh, did you leave work?
I took an early lunch break. Dinner, really.
Oh,
I'm on the
okay.
night shift.
Okay. Well, we will keep this simple.
Yes.
If I were to use one of my abilities, would it make him let her, like, can I
What
use one of
ability are
my
we
abilities?
thinking?
Well, either awe or compel.
Okay.
I'll just say, like, you just have such a calming presence about you. This woman has come in and she's just in a great deal of distress, and I just know that your presence here will help her.
Yeah, being a mortal, I'm not even gonna roll for his compel, and there is no blood cost for this either. So he's like, yes, anything I can do to help her.
Amazing. That would be great. If you could just come with me and I'll bring him into the office.
Okay.
I assume she's like,
On the couch.
yeah.
He immediately like softens. He's like, oh goodness, and he goes and sits by her to try to comfort her. My name is Ronald. Are you okay? Are you hurt?
Ronald, you look like such a sweet boy.
Oh, thanks.
I knew you'd have a calming effect. It's great. Keep going. Like patting him on the back.
I've been working on assertiveness and things like that with Gray, and she thought maybe I could help somehow. Is there any way that I can help?
And she's gonna sit up and get right up next to him and like put her arms around his waist and curl up into the crook of his neck.
Okay. He is awkwardly stiff and has probably not had a woman touch him before.
Pun intended.
I'm standing like right behind her, looking at him, going, hug her.
Okay. He's like, oh, and sort of leans in and reciprocates.
Excellent job. I knew I had a good feeling about you.
Do you have a good life? Do you have a good mother?
Well, that's kind of... He looks at Gray like, what do I say?
She's a commanding figure that many look up to.
Yes, my mother is very, very commanding.
A powerful woman.
Very.
That's good to know. I'm gonna bite him.
Okay. So at first there's a little bit of like, but then like the kindred's bite has a soothing effect on the entire body, and you feel him sort of melt into you. However, tasting blood while at hunger 4 is a very dangerous proposition. So we're going to make another hunger frenzy check. We need 3. We need 3 successes to control our feed.
So the difficulty's 3?
Yes.
Not 23.
Nope. You would be very hangry to resist it. 23. Okay. How much would you like to take? 1 or 2 won't hurt him. But that's not going to take your hunger all away.
I'm gonna go 2
Okay.
because he was so good at comforting me.
Okay.
And I liked that he was so sweet.
Okay. So you, after 2, you resist the frenzy, and you're still hungry, but you feel like just the edge has been taken off. The mind clears, and he sort of slumps into the couch and just fades away into the pleasantest of nappies.
How long does that last?
Well, he's probably going to be on your couch overnight now.
Oh no. Can I call the Happy Burger?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to call Happy Burger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm going to say, like, hey, do you have
I
any-
will also add to this. A non-harmful drink will take the entire scene. Like, we basically help Toni out for the remainder of the night.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe. Okay.
Okay. So, now the good thing is he won't know necessarily what happened.
But I can't let them know he's not coming back.
Would you like to call Happy Burger?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell them, like,
I'm going to say that Ronald is one of your herd. You have his information.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, do you have an employee named, this name tag says Ronald? You think?
Yeah, Ronald, like my buddy, dude.
Oh, great.
He's just had to
well-
step out.
Yeah, so I just found him collapsed on the sidewalk and I'm having them take him to the hospital.
Oh, dude.
So, I mean, I guess he probably won't be back tonight. But I wanted to make sure someone knew.
You hear him sort of put his hand over the phone, but you can still hear him. He's like, dude, Ronald's gone, man. He passed out. They're taking him to the hospital. And then you hear another voice like, well, you'll have to call the manager. Okay, thanks for letting us know.
Sure, I just wanted to make sure you knew that he wouldn't be back for a shift, but it doesn't seem like it's his fault. He's out.
Absolutely. I hope he pulls through okay.
Yeah, me too. Oh, they're coming now. Okay, bye. Click.
Okay, have the happiest of burgers. Okay. So, we all return home to our havens that night. Does Toni go back to hers? I assume?
Toni, if you need a safe place to stay, I have got the house. You
I
can
think-
come here.
I think Toni would take Jacque up on that.
Okay. So, the two of you leave. You head back to Jacques' house. Jacque, you come in. Toni, this is a very nice house.
It's haunted too. Shit.
It's not...
What?
She goes, it's haunted too. Shit.
Welcome, Toni.
Visions.
My parents said this was their house, but
So-
I've inherited it.
You make Toni comfortable and find a place for her to stay that, is going to be out of well shaded.
Hmm.
However, as you're showing her around the house, when you get into the kitchen, the salt shaker has been knocked onto the floor and it's shattered and there's salt all over the floor. And in the salt, you can see the numbers 4-115.
Bon. Right. So, Toni, you just make yourself at home. I'm just gonna clean up this mess, huh?
Do those numbers mean anything to you?
Well, it's not the first time I've heard about them today, but let me tell you, the other time was fucking weird, and I'm not sure I want to talk about it right now. So, yeah, no, they do. But it has to do with my parents, and it's weird that it's written in salt on my floor. That is all. But, you know,
That's
Your
all.
parents.
I'm sure it's fine.
Your parents. I want to thank you so much for being so supportive tonight. I'm so sorry that happened. I'm so embarrassed.
No, don't be embarrassed. Trust me. If you'd seen me at my dad's funeral earlier, that was a good reason to be embarrassed. You're fine.
So
You are fine.
the lighting in the kitchen is a little low. There's just like countertop lighting right now, like the overhead lights haven't been turned on, and Toni can see another man standing in the kitchen now. He's looking at you. He looks very much like Jacque. He has very kind eyes, and you've seen him before.
Okay.
And he's motioning to you with his hands. He's like,
and I'm looking in that direction and nodding.
Hey, are you okay, Toni?
I'm doing much better, yes. I actually have a confession.
What do you need to confess?
I don't know what you ran into today, but the first day I met you, I actually think I saw your father.
Really?
And that day, you were very upset because it was the day that the people at the club were giving you such a hard time.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And he was standing right over your shoulder, and he noticed that I saw him, and he told me to just be patient. Well, he motioned. He can't talk.
Yeah, that
He motioned
sounds like
to me to just be patient with you.
Yeah.
And he's here right now,
Really?
and he's just motioning that same number, 4115.
Okay.
So clearly he's trying to tell you something about those numbers.
So that is actually where my mother's remains are. They're in like a mausoleum, kind of crematorium. I don't know the word, but and that's like the number that yes, he will be beside her because it's been cremated. So I probably check this out. I guess that's clearly a message for me. Thank you for telling me
when
everything.
Jacque says that to you, you're like, you see the man nods and then walks out of the room.
Oh, you definitely got the right message then. He seems happy that you figured that out. Oh, thank you. I needed to have a good vision today.
What did you say earlier? Don't like if you want to talk about it. If it's tough, I get it. Don't do not press yourself too hard.
There's something going on with me, but I'm not sure. I need to check some things out first.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense. So.
Sometimes things don't.
Tell me about it.
Yep.
You didn't tell me your house was haunted.
Well, I didn't know it was haunted. There was some weird shit happening, but I just thought it was like electrical.
Jacque, we're vampires. Weird shit usually means something's happening.
I was just trying to watch the hockey game.
Let's draw a close on that. Gray, so now you've got Ronald sleeping on the couch. No one's here at the just yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you leaving? Like, you're going to retire to your haven soon.
Chambers.
I have like an apartment in the church.
Yes. Are we just leaving him to wake up on his own?
No. Probably not.
I mean, you can.
Could actually take him to the hospital.
I could actually take him to the hospital. But then that might seem, I don't know, vicious. I don't know. I think I'll just like sleep in a chair in my office to make sure he doesn't like get up and get into stuff, or when he does get up I can explain to him what happened.
Tie him to the couch.
Okay. So he eventually does wake. You know, though, that the sun,
Probably up by now.
yes. Well, it's not quite up, but it's close. You can feel, so you won't get much of a choice when daylight hours are up. It takes a lot of energy for you to stay awake.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like,
Oh, did you eat anything at all before you came here?
what?
You fainted while you were comforting my friend.
Oh my God, did I do something inappropriate?
No, of course not, Ronald. Don't be ridiculous.
I'd never been that close to a woman before.
I mean, she's very nice.
I know.
She seems fine. She seems fine, you know. You
Just for a moment, he like rubs his hand across his neck. I think she kissed me.
Oh, well, people do a lot of things when they're in distress, Ronald. Don't you take advantage of her now.
Do you think I fainted because she kissed me?
Well, I don't know. I assumed you said you were on your lunch break, but I thought maybe you didn't eat. You just came over.
Well, it was all a bit much. You bring me here and you introduced me to a beautiful woman, and then I'm on the couch with her, and oh my God.
Ronald, it's fine. You did an amazing job. She was feeling much better.
How do you
You
know
really
I did a good
comforted
job?
that
You
woman.
watched?
Nothing happened, Ronald.
Are you sure?
Nothing untoward happened, Ronald.
Oh.
But you did make her feel a lot better. You know, you're really much more charismatic than you give yourself credit for.
Thanks.
And the people over there at Happy Burger seem to love you too, because I let them know that I told them you had fainted and you wouldn't be back, that you were going to the hospital. But so just, you know, let them know you were at the hospital. But someone else called on your behalf.
Did Kareem say he'd cover for me?
I mean, no one really said anything to that effect.
Oh, shit.
But they did seem worried about you.
I feel really tired. How long have I been asleep for?
Few hours?
Oh. I'm exhausted.
You should really get home and go to sleep, Ronald.
I think so.
Get some rest. Maybe have a sandwich first, because you look a little peaked.
Is there anything here to eat?
I assume we have like granola bars or mini muffins or something like that to put out with coffee.
There is some leftover donuts from the meeting last night.
Yeah. Well, we do have some donuts.
Because no Canadian get-together is like...
Some Timbits.
Yeah,
we've got some Timbits left.
He like... Yeah, there's all the shitty old-fashioned Timbits, no icing or anything on them.
The plain ones.
Exactly.
We've got some plain Timbits and some cold coffee.
He takes it, and he's like...
Get some food in
his
you.
mouth looks like a chipmunk. He's got so many Timbits in his mouth, and he like holds the coffee up to you, and he walks out the front door into the street. And just for a moment, as he goes out that door, you see daylight out there.
I'm like taking steps back as he's walking out. When I know he's leaving, I'm like, I gotta get out of here and go to bed.
Okay. Excellent. Well, another night arrives in Toronto. Let's all make a rouse check.
I'm not doing great on those tonight.
Oh my gosh, Jacque.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my, we're all hungry. Jacque,
Toni and Jacque are going to eat each other.
Jacque, you are really hungry. You are really hungry.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to take care of that.
When you wake up, Gray, you have a text message from Angel.
Okay.
Heard about a fire in your neighborhood. Hope you are okay.
Mm,
The
I think I'll
grocery-
just send back. I'm so fine. Thank you, sweetie. And then I'll say,
Special K didn't make it though.
right. Sounds like it was in the building of a friend we both knew back in college. So, some little punk we knew back in college. I'll leave it at that.
Do we need to have coffee?
Definitely. Because I think we have other stuff we want to tell them, right?
Would you like to come by tonight?
Sure. Would you like me to get the whole sorority back together?
That sounds great.
I'll call them up!
LPW.
Exclamation point. Heart, like sparkle hearts, all the stuff.
More peaches.
Okay.
More peaches.
Okay. So, the three of you get together, or the three of you decide to meet at Peaches?
Yeah. Well, I would guess I would like message the others and ask if we want to swing by the auto shop on the way.
Do you want to do
If
that?
there's
I
a
would-
way we can swing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The auto
probably a good
shop
idea.
is in the north end of Etobicoke, so not far from Peaches, actually, out at the airport. I mean, it's a little bit out of the way, but you think you can pull that off?
Okay,
Okay.
let's do that.
So you make your way over there, and are we all in one car?
I'm on my
My
bike.
reliable Camry.
Did you go and pick Gray up in your reliable Camry?
I don't know. Will Gray get in my reliable Camry?
Yes, I'll get in the
Dude,
Camry.
unless Ray wants to ride on the bike, and I'm pretty sure they don't.
No, not a bike kind of girl.
So you arrive at
Might mess up my hair.
OG Auto Body.
OG auto body.
Like original
Okay.
gangsta.
It says OG Auto Body. Maybe the G is for Gavin, but you're not sure.
I was gonna say, is it for his name? Because that would
There
be
is a
hilarious.
fenced-in compound and a large garage-like building. It has two garage bay doors that are open, and there's light inside, and you can see people moving about, and there are cars parked in there. The front gates to the compound are open at this time. It says that they don't close tonight until about 9 o'clock. Little sign that says open late to serve you better. Inside the compound are a mix mash of cars that look in decent shape to cars that are just absolute wrecks and write-offs. Stacks of tires and spare parts litter the compound inside the fence as well. The fence is probably about 8 feet high with barbed wire across the top of it. Not only are there two garage doors, but there's also, like, you can see sort of like an office area at the front with some windows, and there is a door into that as well. Those lights are on in there also.
That's probably the place to go first. Talk to a mechanic. Have him come take a look.
Can I have all of you give me an awareness wits check, please?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm gonna be down to one word again soon, I think. Yes, everybody else is doing the talking. Okay, awareness.
Okay.
So let's see here. We have a success from Toni. We have a bestial failure from Gray. And one success from Jacque. This will be interesting.
I was gonna say let's have Jacque lead this, but
Yeah.
how do you say my dear fucker?
Bonsoir, you fuckers.
Oh, you fuckers!
Oh my god. Okay, so listen, we're going.
Created a monster, Jeremy.
What's that?
You created a monster.
We're gonna lay down the Ventrue clan compulsion on poor Gray.
Oh, this is the first time we've heard this.
Your need to rule here
Uh-oh.
arises, and you'll stop at nothing to assume command of the situation here at the chop shop,
Great.
the body shop. Someone
Great.
must obey an order
Natural
from
environment.
you. Require someone in this scene to follow an order from you. An action not directly associated with leadership, though, receives a 2 dice penalty. The compulsion lasts until an order has been obeyed. The order must not be supernaturally enforced through dominate, though, or presence. It has to be a flat out, you'll do as I say type thing.
Great.
Now, Jacque, you succeeded with, let me see here. Where is Jacque's? There it is.
One of two.
One of two. So you did not pass, but if you would like to pass this roll, I'll allow you to pass it at a cost.
What's the cost?
The cost will be that you are still on edge from the other night, and you will automatically fail your next frenzy roll.
Okay.
I think Jacque is at 4 hunger right now.
Yeah, he is, and I'm not going to do it because I might fail it anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
So only Toni picks up on this. But as you pull into the parking lot, you didn't roll enough successes to notice this until you're already pulling in. Down the street, there is a black pickup truck. It is raised a little bit, and the windows appear tinted.
Great.
You just catch that down the street a few blocks as you pull in, but as I said, you only made 2 successes, so it's too late. You're already pulling into the lot. You can't just drive by now. It would look really obvious. No one else notices, though. Jacque pulls in on his bike, and you and Gray pull into the parking lot.
Gray's like immediately out of the car doing like full like high heel Karen stomp into the office.
Okay. So you open the door into the office. There is a woman. She is not dressed particularly nice for it to be an office employee, but I mean, she's maybe it's dressed down Friday. Who knows? She has sort of.
It's a mechanic.
You can see she has ripped jeans, and she has a tank top on, and she has a lot of tattoos showing. She has shoulder length, dark hair. Probably dyed. You don't think it's real. She's sitting sort of behind a desk and looks up at you as you come in. There's paperwork everywhere in here, and there's 3 desks here, but she's the only one working at it in the room. You can also see that there is a piece of radio equipment at the back, like a CB or something. There must be an antenna on the building, maybe for a tow truck dispatch or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So a bell jingles as you come in, and she looks up. What is our other 2 vampires doing as you see Gray is like out of the car and like gone for that door.
I'm going after Greg.
Okay.
I'm gonna attempt to grab Jacques' arm as
Yeah, I'll say that you grab Jacques' arm, but not Gray. She's
as
in
he's
the
coming
office.
off the bike, and like if I have to, I'll do like a 180, like
Okay.
stand like whoa, and, like,
Dance starts again.
And I will get like nice and close, like I'm leaning in to get all like snuggly and be like, I think there's Inquisition down the street.
What?
Big truck raised like they were describing by the apartment building.
Fuck. We gotta
Great.
get out of here soon.
Hang on.
Great.
I want to roll. I want to roll from Jacques. Jacques, could you give me either subterfuge or streetwise? And,
Yes,
and
I can do that.
and composure.
I'm not sure how good my composure is, but the other okay. So subterfuge or streetwise, right?
Basically, I want to see if you don't do like, where are they? And just spin your head around, sort of. We want subtlety here. I guess stealth would also.
Yeah, because I am really good at that. That's gonna be good. Okay, one second.
Stealth
here.
could be an option here too. Stealth, streetwise, or subterfuge.
Okay, hold on here. I gotta go and check and see what my stealth.
Definitely,
Oh,
definitely doing this with composure.
okay. So yeah, stealth or streetwise would be the same. Okay, perfect. Submit it. Ooh.
Jacques with a roll. Look at that.
Without
Hallelujah.
help.
Jacques, you managed to not rubberneck. You managed to not rubberneck and draw attention to you and your friends.
That's good.
It's because Toni brought
Yeah.
him in all like,
So,
hey man.
Gray inside the office, the woman looks up and I mean the audacity of her. Rather than immediately saying hello or anything, she takes a sip of coffee.
I've been told the person that I need to speak to here is Gavin.
She finishes her drink and puts it down. Just looks at you.
So if you could get him, that would be great.
You got a car here?
My friend's car is having trouble. It's a Toyota and it's having starter issues.
Toyota, hey?
Now, I don't think I need to explain to you why that's unusual.
No, they're pretty reliable cars.
It's true. So, Gavin,
Did you call and make an appointment?
I wasn't aware we needed to. The gates were open.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, we prefer an appointment, to be honest. And Gavin's a busy guy. He's not here right now. I can go and get Oscar for you.
Let me explain something to you. You are going to go get Gavin for me. And then we'll be fine. And I like put my hand on her desk and I say, if you need me to call and make an appointment, can I use your phone for that?
I would like you to give me an intimidation composure check.
Okay.
And because it's not a leadership role, there will be a 2 dice penalty.
So is that pool size?
Yeah,
Minus-
-2.
Difficulty still 2?
Correct. Well,
Well, there you go.
well, there you
That-
go.
There you go.
You've succeeded. So your compulsion now ends as she, okay, you don't have to get all up in my business. And she gets out from
Thank
behind
you
the desk.
so much.
A little bit of time, you hear her go out in the garage. Not Gray, because she's in the office and it's closed off, but those both of you outside as she goes in the garage. you hear her mutter something to one of the guys under a car. Like, where's Gavin? We got some fucking Karen in the front office.
I lean over to Jacque and say, sounds like Gray's already doing her thing.
I hate myself right now.
And the guy, you hear the guy under the car go, I don't think Gavin's here. I think he's out, well, you know where. She's like, well, I don't know what to tell this woman. And I think if I go back in there and tell her Gavin's not here, she's going to bite my head off. Well, go see if Oscar
You have no idea.
Go see if Oscar can talk to her. So you see her, okay, and you guys see her move out the back of the garage. Not only are the doors open at the front, but also at the back, and she goes out into sort of what looks like another yard with more parts and cars and stuff like that out there. What do you do? Gray, you're waiting?
Mm-hmm.
How about you two outside?
Like, is it apparent to us if these are actually also kindred or no?
Do you have Sense the Beast? Because that would allow you to do that.
I don't. That's something. I'm just check here, but I'm pretty sure I don't.
Absolutely. It's an animalism ability, and I don't think anyone has that.
No.
No. The other option, yeah, no, nothing apparent. Okay. Nothing apparent.
And we don't know much about this shop slash garage, really, because we didn't get much info. No. Okay.
Other than that, Delilah's note said Gavin was here, and it implied Gavin was like you. Gavin is kindred.
Okay.
And that he was involved in that blood bag scandal that the city had not long ago.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean into Jacque and say, hey, follow my lead.
Okay. Yep.
This will be fantastic.
I certainly hope so.
Okay, what is Toni gonna do?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna grab Jacque by the arm and continue this like we're a couple thing.
Okay.
Hey, Sherry, okay?
Yeah. And I'm gonna like strut up to this guy that's under the car that she just talked to.
Yep.
And be like, good evening. Wondering if you could like help us. My boyfriend and I are looking into maybe getting some new parts for my car.
He slides out a bit. He's like on one of those boards with the wheels. He just sort of really old school, just sort of slides out from under the car and looks at you. He's like,
hey, man.
And he's sort of this grease covered. He's obviously been under a car all day. Young guy, maybe early 20s. Boyfriend, huh? That's too bad. What kind of car?
Well, that's my Camry, but as you see, like, Jacque's more into the bikes, which, you know, we're hoping we can get me one someday, but they're so expensive, you know?
Oh, we're gonna get you a bike, baby. Don't worry.
Oh, I hope so. You know, we really like the finer things in life, but...
Yeah,
He's
we
like,
want to go on the road trips together with our bikes, but, you know, someday.
Yeah,
someday.
yeah, I'm sure that'll be lonely. Mindy should be in the office if you wanted to ask her.
Oh, there was no one at the desk, honey, when we tried to go in there, you know?
What is there not, like, I thought there was a lady in there. Anyways, he pushes himself out from under the car, and just as luck would have it, he cuts his finger on the way coming out. And that sweet aroma hits the air, and Jacque, I would like a frenzy check. As you are at hunger 4, and you can smell blood.
second here.
He's like, shit!
Oh, shit.
And he like shakes his finger a bit, and a couple little blood drops splatter about.
On Jacque. Resist frenzy?
Yes, please.
Yep, okay. Difficulty 2?
Yes, for smell of blood is only difficulty 2.
Okay.
At hunger 4. You just make it. Toni, you probably feel a change in Jacque as the guy like. Anyways, he.
Chérie,
So I
should put it up front. I think.
He makes his way towards
I
the
actually
office.
see him cut his finger. I go, "Oh, honey, let me help you with that." And I'm gonna like take his cut finger and stick it in my mouth and lick the blood off. And give him the oh baby eyes while I do it.
The oh baby eyes. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Wow.
Wow, indeed. I think we need some kind of a rule for that. Hold on a second. Let's see just how.
I warned you guys.
I feel like Gray and Toni are two sides of the same coin.
Gray is very.
A little bit.
Let's roll.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Toni is like.
Let's do performance manipulation.
Would you say that this would be considered drama?
Oh fuck yes.
So that gets an extra dice?
Yes.
Okay.
Gore.
Difficulty 2 still?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, wait, I rolled that wrong.
Oh, manipulation.
Oh, please.
Well, you know.
It's just straight up manipulation.
I doubled down. Yeah, performance and then manipulation.
I just manipulate my manipulations.
Manipulation squared.
Okay, so you do that, and he's like sort of mid-sentence, and he just stops.
Oh, baby, you are such a
And I look over at Jacque as I'm like coming off of his finger. I'm like, oh, his blood tastes so good. You should try it. Oh,
Oh no. Oh no.
He looks at what just happened and looks at the size of Jacque, decides he does not want Jacque to do that, and moves very quickly to the office.
Are you
gonna
Gavin?
check
Great.
my friend?
No response, Jacque. He just like walks away. Gray, a man enters the office, and he's just looking at his finger.
I'm doing that thing where I point my cell phone at someone.
Yes.
Like like Karens do. And I'm like, are you Gavin?
No. What? No!
I need to speak to Gavin.
Gavin's...
Sorry.
Listen, lady. Gavin's not here.
Excuse me?
Take 2.
this guy is gonna quit his job.
He turns
like
he when you say excuse me, like he looks back to the garage to go back out there, but then he realizes what's waiting for him there, and he's like stuck. He doesn't know. He's just stuck looking.
Baby.
Stuck looking at you.
Well, where is he? I need him to look at my car.
As you two are standing in the garage, and Gray is belittling someone, Mindy comes back with this older gentleman. He looks sort of like Uncle Jesse out of the Dukes of Hazzard. He's got he's a bigger guy. He's got a big pair of overalls on and a white beard. Not a whole lot of hair left on his head. And he's got like, Jacque will like him. He's got a plaid shirt under his overalls. And And he sort of walks slow. Like Mindy, you can tell, has to pace to keep speed. And he like comes in the garage. He sees Jacque and Toni. He's like, "Be right with you, folks." And makes his way into the office. Gray, the gentleman I just described, enters. The man that is in the office uses this as an opportunity to run away from you.
Are you Gavin?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I am Oscar. I am joint owner. My son is Gavin.
Oh, gee. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I suppose if he learned from you, then it might be worth looking at. We'll just like look him up and down like a snob.
Very, very nice of you to say. What can I do for you? You're looking for a repair or parts?
There's something wrong with my friend's car. It's a Toyota Camry, and yet it was having a hard time turning over the other day. And it's just very unusual, and we need to know what's going on.
Those Toyotas are very reliable.
I know.
He looks out the window. Is that it out there?
It's that one right there, yes.
Well, you come along with me. We'll go out and see what the problem is.
Wonderful.
He opens the door for you.
Thank you. What a gentleman. I'll walk out.
Give me a give me an awareness wits check as you go out past him.
Okay. Awareness wits.
That's Jacque's favorite kind of check. Just say.
Oh no.
So
Oh no.
As you walk past him, you actually do notice like he looks at Mindy, the office girl, and gives her a little smile like he's playing it up to you, right? Now you know he's playing it up to you, and god damn it, this will not happen to a Ventrue. So I need you will need to enforce your will again. Clearly these people are not listening. Out in the garage, the man comes out of the mechanic comes out of the shop. He does not approach Jacque or Toni. He just goes, I think Oscar's going out to your car.
Oh. Well,
out there.
Who's Oscar?
That is kind of disappointing, but okay.
You look out and you see an older man walking. The same man that walked through the garage is now walking out to the car with Gray.
Gray is not keeping pace, I will say. No, like Mindy was.
Yeah, he's very slow. So you're like a rocket. Gray is leading
tapping
away.
my foot.
Well, I suppose he's good enough for the Camry, but maybe you two boys can talk about the bike.
I'm sure we can, Sherry.
The guy's like, oh, okay. What's wrong with the bike?
You two, you look like a man that knows his way around things that are powerful.
Oh, Jesus. Are you going to walk out to the bike, Jacque?
Yeah, sure.
With this guy in tow? Okay. So we have Toni now in the garage. There's 2 cars parked in the garage, but now no one is working in the garage.
Successfully derailed the shops. Okay.
That's my plan all along.
So Gray, you get to the vehicle, and Oscar comes up behind you.
Now, I need to know exactly why this car is having trouble, because it's never had trouble before. Never.
Okay. Why don't you get in and turn it over for me? Let me hear.
Toni.
I left the keys in it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll just turn it off.
So you.
But I'm like
left keys in.
I'm like half hanging out the door because I want to make sure he's doing what I tell him to do.
He's like he says, "Pop the hood."
I pull the whatever handle required. to pop the hood.
As he
Can't find
pushes the
them.
hood up, you're like, this fucker is giving me a lot of orders. Like, he's told you to get in the car and start it. He's told you to pop the hood. You are on the wrong end of this exchange.
Nobody orders gray around.
Do you start the car?
I start the car and then I get out of it and I come around the side to watch exactly what he's doing.
Okay, you start the car, and as you're about to get out, he goes, "Give it some gas, dear. Give it some gas."
You give it some gas, honestly.
He like looks startled, and he's like, "Well, I'm not in the car, honey."
Well, neither am I anymore. And you know what you're doing better than I do.
And we have an old-fashioned Canadian stare down happening right now. So
She's doing this like smile, like.
Why don't you give me a persuasion manipulation roll at -2 because it's not leadership, basically, in the grand scheme of things.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. So you are again without compulsion. He goes, "Okay, don't get your panties in a knot," and he walks around and gets in the car and gives it some gas. And, well, what was it doing? It sounds pretty good, ma'am.
Well, it wasn't starting, apparently. It wasn't turning over.
Clearly that's not a problem. Jacque, you and the guy get to your bike.
Yeah.
He says to you under his breath, "Is your girlfriend always that friendly with people?"
Oh, sometimes she's more friendly than that, man.
More friendly than that?
I think you'd be surprised.
Well, whatever she did, it did the trick. Like, the cut's gone.
Natural healer.
I guess so.
Known for it.
So is there a problem with the bike, or?
No, I'm just thinking about getting a paint job done sometime soon with some detailing and stuff, but I heard that you guys also maybe take care of this kind of thing.
Yeah, we can definitely do that for you. So the two of you start talking what you'd like done with the bike. Gray is arguing with Oscar. Toni, doing anything or just watching the chaos you've created?
I want to ransack the garage and see what kind of information I might be able to find.
Oh, okay. So let's have Toni make an investigation check. Let's say investigation wits.
Making sure nobody in chat's trying to thwart me.
Never do that. Like,
ooh, a messy critical. We have a messy critical. So we have a bunch of successes here. 5 successes, but the successes came from crits on hunger dice. So a messy critical can mean a couple of things. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very much for the follow. Messy critical. Let's see if I can find the explanation here. There you go. Messy critical. What could go wrong, they said.
Oh boy. Toni hasn't exactly been very stable. She did just suck on somebody's finger, so...
Okay.
So, you do what you got to.
So as you're looking about, Toni, there's a voice like beside you, and Kieran's there with you.
Oh shit.
What are we looking for?
Information on Delilah. What do you think we're looking for?
I don't know. There's not going to be any information on Delilah in a garage, is there?
Well, she had information on him. Am I like talking out loud? Am I talking to myself?
No, you're totally
Okay.
talking out loud to yourself. He's like, well, how about that? And he points at a book, a binder on the desk.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to the binder and like open it up and start.
Yeah, no, you open it up and immediately it's an assembly instructions that they've 3-hole punched and stuck in here for some part for a car.
Why am I listening to you? What did you know about cars? You didn't even drive. I throw it aside and
I keep looking. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, you want to talk about what happened in the bathroom?
What do you mean? What happened in the bathroom? And I'm gonna keep like looking through stuff and.
It was a lot of blood.
Yeah, there was a lot of blood. There's always a lot of blood when bad things happen. Bad things always happen. They happen all the time. We don't need to talk about it.
And what was with those hands?
Why should I tell you? You're just a punk that didn't care about me.
Am I though?
Why are you still here? Why are you bothering me?
I thought we could get to know each other more.
Why
We're
did
friends. You told them they were friends. You even cried for me.
You didn't care to get to know me then. You just cared about free Chinese food and sweet and sour sauce.
As you're talking just on to yourself, you notice that Mindy has come out of the office and she's like standing on the other side of the room just kind of looking at you. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, maybe I didn't properly introduce myself. Hi, I'm Mary. I'm going to be the new office girl on the weekends.
You're gonna give me a subterfuge manipulation.
That's epic.
Oh boy. Oh.
I tell you what, I will let you succeed this, but you will be caught totally unaware of what is about to happen.
Oh no.
Succeed at a cost. There's something about to happen here at the garage, and you will be totally unaware of it. You'll be slow to react, if that's possible. However, you will have convinced her that yes, you are that new girl that's starting.
I think that I will take the fail.
Okay. So she's like, new girl? There's no new girl. At which point there's a very loud rumbling engine as an old Chevelle muscle car. It's black with white stripes off the hood and the roof pulls in. A man gets out of it. He looks very street. Lots of tattoos on his neck and stuff. He's got sort of a very trendy pair of jeans on, rips and all the rest of it fit him perfectly, and he has a black tank top, and it's pretty cool outside. But he looks pretty fantastic, and he gets out of the Chevelle and he yells over at the car, "Dad, you gotta move that thing. I gotta get the car in."
I immediately say, "Are you Gavin?"
And as you say, "Are you Gavin?" a black pickup truck blocks the entrance to the compound. And a number of what maybe is best described as soldiers come out of the car. They're in black fatigues. They have guns.
Oh my gosh, the Proud Boys are here. I just start yelling that.
The convoy.
You're like, oh my
Proud
gosh, the
Boys.
Proud Boys are here. And
What kind of a place is this?
a number of flashbang grenades are thrown. And that's where we'll stop tonight.
Oh.
And and next time we will we'll pick up right there